Welcome back to the 7-Up Halftime Report.
Bucknell leading Holy Cross 38-20. Bucknell looking to get to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1989. Brian Kenny back here with you. It's a 7-Up Halftime Report. We've already seen the Big East #1 seed get knocked out in its first game. That's Boston College. Today, two very close calls in the Big 12 and in the ACC. Let's start with North Carolina, #1 seed in the ACC, and coming out sluggish against Clemson. Clemson.
This is the 7-Up Halftime Report.
Some of the top teams play
in pursuit of perfection.
Bucknell just 20 minutes away from its first NCAA tourney appearance in 16 years. On top of Holy Cross, 38-20 in the Patriot League Championship. Dave Revson alongside former Duke All-American Jason Williams. And, you know, this is one of those games you thought could probably go either way, but I don't think anyone would have predicted an 18-point lead at the half. Certainly not the road team winning by 18 in the half. What's going on here? Take a look at what an impressive showing it was for Bucknell. Chris McNaughton was the story inside. 12 points for the big guy. All kinds of moves. 16 points in the paint for Bucknell as opposed to just 4 for Holy Cross. Bucknell shot 61%, and then they did it with defense as well. They held the Crusaders to 21% from the field. 9 turnovers for Holy Cross, but most importantly, Bucknell, 11 points off turnovers, just 5 for Holy Cross. There you see the shooting disparity. It is enormous. 61% for Bucknell, 21% for the Crusaders. Points in the paint, points off turnovers, both decidedly in favor of Bucknell.
But they've also, Bucknell's big three have come out and really did well in the first half. Really giving, you know, attributing for around 60% of a team scoring. And this young man right here, Kevin Betancourt, has at least attributed for around 30-some points. His shots himself and gets great penetration and kicking down to McNaughton and some other three-point shooters.
As for Holy Cross's top players, Hamilton and Simmons, just 7 points between them. This Holy Cross's largest halftime deficit of the year. They trail by 12 against Bucknell in the game at Bucknell. Lee misses. Here comes Hurley. Now he gets it to Thomas for the Crusaders. And he's fouled on the floor. It's going to go against Dave Badmus.
Well, I think Holy Cross had an inspiring speech in the locker room during halftime. I mean, I think Ralph Willard got after it. I think he came at these players and told them, you know, you're in a conference championship game. You're playing at home in front of all your fans. It's a do-or-die situation. This is our time.
Ralph Willard knows some things about pressure. Obviously, he's had a lot of success getting into this tourney 3 times in the last 4 years, the NCAA tourney, I should say, winning this game. We'll see if his team can overcome a huge deficit. Home team won both games in this series this year. Remember, though, this is a Bucknell team that can go into hostile territory and win. They've won at #7 Pittsburgh. Hurley, with some emphasis, gets Holy Cross going here in the second half.
Well, I knew John Hurley was athletic, but I didn't know he was athletic to bang over McNaughton like that. Great penetration and kick by Thomas to get the ball down low to him.
So 5 points for Hurley and a little fire, as you said, from the Crusaders early on. McNaughton throws it away. It'll be Holy Cross basketball.
And once again, now is the play by John Hurley to stand there and to take the charge. McNaughton was more afraid of taking the charge and find out where the ball was going on the pass. Smart heads-up play by John Hurley. You know what's funny about the game of basketball is some of the littlest things make the biggest of differences, Dave. He's talking about just Holy Cross coming out playing with a little bit more energy in the second half can put them back in this game.
Hamilton misses, but he draws the foul.
I feel if he has made that, that's what brought the place down. This place would have gone crazy if he had made that shot.
Foul on Donald Brown. There you see the biggest deficit this season was 12 against Bucknell. Game they lost by 16. Down 18 at the half in this one. Hamilton hits the free throw, the conference player of the year. Now has 6 points.
Well, for his part, he is the engine to this car right now, especially for this team. When he gets going, this whole team picks up and elevates to another level. If he gets this thing going, look for Holy Cross to really come out and be a dangerous team in the second half.
It's 1 of 2. Lufkin had the free throw momentarily, but now here come the Bison. Kevin Betancourt.
A good defensive stopper on Kevin Betancourt. You got Greg Kinsey in there. He has great quick hands to get after loose balls.
Now a steal by Hurley.
Oh, great pass.
Has it blocked. But it's going to be a foul on Bucknell.
And it was a great pass just for the exact reason that he threw it just enough to get over the hands of Mastropola, who was running down the court. You see right here, the defensive play right here, just the hands by McKenzie to get the ball, and then Hurley. This is why it's a great pass right here, just enough to get over the hands of Donald Brown. Just enough, and that's the kind of passes that make it great.
So now Tori Thomas to the stripe. 3rd of 4 children, raised by a single mother, Rosemary Thomas in White Plains, New York. Gives her a lot of credit for his success. Hits the first free throw. Played on 2 straight state championship teams. Trinity Catholic in Connecticut with a guy named David McClure. He plays for Duke now.
Yes, sir, David McClure.
See Thomas struggling a bit today. That was his first point. That's number 2. Hampered part of the year by a partially separated shoulder, and the cross getting back in it. First 5 points of the second half. Lee going to slow it up for Bucknell.
And so far in the second half, the trends have kind of changed. Holy Cross really came out and really put himself in a defensive position to make a lot of plays happen, whereas Bucknell did all that in the first half.
Hamilton there following McNaughton. Second on Kevin Hamilton.
Just a defense in that. This is a great pass right there by Kevin Betancourt. He used his left hand to wrap it around the player. The use of the left right there to wrap it around is what created that entire play.
McNaughton a dozen in the first half. Just a sophomore, and has really stepped up in the games against high-level competition for Bucknell. 17 in that win at Pittsburgh. He had 17 against Villanova. Had 22 as a freshman last year against Northwestern.
Dave, he loves big environments, babe. How could you not love being in big environments, playing against big-time teams? That's what you go to college to play basketball for. I mean, this place is rocking in here. This place is getting pumped up.
That's the first shot he has missed the whole game from the field or from the line. He hits the second free throw.
I mean, come on, Dave. How could you not like this? I'm sweating over here on the sideline. I'm not even playing.
It is a little warm in here, isn't it?
I know. It's the atmosphere is picking up.
Kinsey leaves it short. Rebound Anise.
But that was not a good shot by Kinsey. He had enough time to get his team in a better offensive set. And like Ralph Will said, he is not the scorer that he wants him to be. He really wants him to take his time.
Anise has played very well in this game. 8 points now for a guy who came in averaging about 3. The lone senior for Bucknell. And Ralph Willard, just as soon as he saw his team maybe show some signs, now calls a timeout to talk things over. It's 41-25, Bison by 16.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship on ESPN begins March 19th.
Bucknell by 16, second time ever these two have met in the Patriot League Championship. The first time back in 1993, and in that one, it was all Crusaders. As the second leading scorer, the famed Feaster Bunny.
Mr. Feaster.
It was feast or famine, and it was more feast for Holy Cross, as they got themselves to the NCAA tournament, winning it 90-73. Holy Cross has really owned this league as of late. Made it 3 of the last 4 years, but it's Bucknell doing the damage here, trying to get to the dance for the first time since 1989.
Well, I don't think Bucknell is worried about the past history of Holy Cross tonight. They want to make their own history.
Turned over there by Lufkin. As Holy Cross continues to struggle. 10 turnovers now. The real difference, though, has been points off turnovers. As Bucknell actually has more turnovers. Holy Cross just hasn't been able to do anything with them.
A little surprised that Lufkin didn't go up and shoot that shot right there. In return, Griffin comes out and knocks out on 3, but if you have the ball within a foot away from the basket, you got to shoot it instead of trying to make a little lackadaisical pass.
6 points down for John Griffin, who played for Speedy Morris in high school, the former LaSalle coach at St. Joe's Prep.
Well, he came over to me yesterday. He said, you know, I can shoot the ball like you. I was like, I don't believe you. You got to prove it to me tomorrow during the game. This young man can shoot it, definitely.
Hamilton misses that one. And a foul on the Crusaders. It's going to go against Greg Kinsey, number 2. 2 team fouls as well for Holy Cross. As we remind you, Championship Week presented by 7-Up continues tonight on ESPN. Both semifinals for the Big East presented by Aeropostale. First at 7 p.m. Eastern. West Virginia, they're playing their way into the tournament against Villanova. Then at 9 Eastern, it's Syracuse and UConn, one of the great rivalries in the Big East. Big East Championship also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Call your local cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today to get ESPN HD.
And Dave, looking at some of the players' faces on Holy Cross, they just kind of seem baffled right now. I was in a situation when we were playing against Maryland where we couldn't score for 5 or 6 minutes. We seem baffled, but we just got to get your team composed and get together and find some way to get a spark to get your team pumped up.
Well, what an impressive performance by Bucknell in this game. They have done just about everything right. Lufkin stripped on the way to the hoop by Chris Neese, but Neese called for his second foul.
I mean, that was a foul Lufkin needs to get going, but didn't look like a foul to me. It looked like Neese got a great strip on the ball, got his hands all over it. But maybe this is what Holy Cross needs. Maybe they need to get pumped up. They need to get beat down a little bit and then maybe turn it on in the last couple of minutes.
Bucknell trying to get to the dance for just the 3rd time ever.
Surprised that Holy Cross is not dribble penetrating much more into the gaps. There's so many gaps in that zone. If they just see a little dribble penetration, they get a lot of easy buckets.
Hurley the rebound off the Simmons miss. John Hurley's come out with some fire in the second half. 4 points in the first 4 minutes or so.
Holy Cross going to the full court man press zone.
Now Lee in the corner. Lee going to try a 3-ball. Wow.
That was something that was impressive about that play. It all started with Betancourt from the wing, just his hesitation dribble, just to get into that gap. And once he got into the gap, pass out to Griffin. Griffin did a great job just at making that extra pass. The extra pass is so important. That created the 3 by Lee.
The lead is 20 now for Bucknell, matching the largest of the game.
Thank you, Anaconda, for your continued support of the Patriot League.
So right here, just that extra pass and that little head play right there was just enough to make that whole play happen. I cannot stress the importance of the extra pass. Sometimes, you know, we were playing basketball at Duke, we were penetrating a kick, and guys have open shots, but it was just that next extra pass that created the even more wide open shot.
Bucknell 7 of 11 from behind the arc. That is staggering. Opponents for Holy Cross this year shooting about 35% on the threes, 38% from 2-point range. In this game, 63% for Bucknell from 3-point range, 61% from the field as a whole. Holy Cross, both these teams are great defensive teams. We've seen that from Bucknell. We've not seen it from the Crusaders.
But Dave, even what I told you yesterday, we were sitting there watching the team practice, and I wrote down in my stat sheet, I said, they look sharp and they look ready to go. And just a team's performance or practice preparing for the day before can tell you about the way they're going to come into the game.
That is Kevin Highland getting his first 2.
But I think Willard's just trying to find answers. He's trying to find somebody to give him some production offensively.
No problem with the press there. Now a block by Simmons as he knocks it away from Charles Lee. Hamilton loses the ball. Ball on the floor, battle for it. It's going to be a held ball that will go to Holy Cross.
Well, I love these kind of games because the ref is they're letting them play. You hear a lot of slapping in the arms, fouls aren't being called, but you got to play through it.
It's Bucknell on top of Holy Cross, 47-29 for the Patriot League title.
Please rock.
Bucknell certainly rising to the challenge here. Championship week presented by 7-Up. Bucknell and Holy Cross for the Patriot League title. Dave Revson, Jason Williams with you in Worcester, and it has been all Bucknell in this game. The Bison are in the orange, Holy Cross in the home white. They're the top seed, but you wouldn't know it by watching it. Bucknell 61% from the field in this game, and their outstanding defense has held Holy Cross to 21%, Jason.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the shot selection that Bucknell has had. They've had a lot of wide open threes, whereas Holy Cross have had contested shots each and every time.
Simmons. Now Hamilton with the shot clock down to 3. That's a big shot right there by Kevin Hamilton, the player of the year in this conference.
Well, that's a huge shot. Maybe that's a momentum builder, but once again, a contested shot with a hand right in his face.
Hamilton, father played at Iona, was a third-round pick of the Celtics. Betancourt tries to answer, he leaves it short. Mastropolo battles for the rebound, and Bucknell's got it. Betancourt again. And a block.
Those are the kind of rebounds that kill you if you're a coach. Your team has a chance to come down and score again, and then Mastropolo gets the rebound and kicks it back out to give a layup.
So 15-point lead for Pat Flannery's team. There you see his numbers. Flannery played at Bucknell, graduated in 1980, took a 3-game leave of absence earlier this year. He was telling us yesterday, just kind of hit a wall. There was so much hype around this team, particularly after the win at Pittsburgh. It was the highest-ranked team ever beaten by a Patriot League team. He said, you know, I was just incapable of saying no. Everyone who wanted to talk to me, I was on every radio show. I'm talking to every newspaper. He said, you know, you have to do that when you're at a program like this. But frankly, he said, I just hit a wall. I burned out. Missed 3 games. They lost 2 of them. So he's a pretty important call.
Well, definitely as a pro athlete, I can tell you, you have so many people asking you to do so many things. And you used to being such a good guy to say no is something that's not in your vocabulary. But Dave, he should have a secretary now. You talk about Bucknell doing all the things that they're doing this year and getting to the conference championship. He needs to get a secretary to control all that stuff for him.
Pat Doherty back in there for Holy Cross. Crusaders trying to get something going.
And McNaughton is working his butt off down low. The front Lufkin down low.
Hamilton again, and they have to work for everything. Shot clock down to 10. Hamilton cannot get the roll.
He got
knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Holy Cross ball. But I'll tell you, it's tough when you're down by this much, Jason. It's taking them a long time to get anything to develop.
Well, you can't rush it. You can't rush it. You got to take a possession at a time. There were some times we were down at Duke where we were trying to do it too fast. You got to take each possession for what it is and make sure you convert, and then come down defensively and get a stop.
Bucknell, an outstanding defensive team, held their first 2 opponents in this tourney to a combined 69 points. Simmons has it knocked away on the way up.
A lot of fans are yelling for fouls, but that was a great play. Simmons created the contact, and once again, the refs had a no call.
Nice. Now Betancourt. Foul going to go against Pat Doherty. Number 1 on Doherty. Championship week presented by 7-Up on ESPN2. A couple great quarterfinal matchups from the ACC tournament. At 7 Eastern, it's NC State against Justin Gray and Wake Forest. Remember, no Chris Paul in that game. And then at 9 Eastern, Virginia taking on J.J. Redick and Jason's alma mater, the Duke Blue Devils. Virginia coming off that win over Miami. ACC tournament available in high definition on ESPN HD. Call your cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today.
I think Eric Williams and Tyrone Downing have to have a huge game in order for Wake Forest to beat NC State tonight.
NC State needs every win it can get at this point. Nate Lufkin whistled for his second foul.
Once again, he's done a great job in going down low, just sealing his man, his possession. They start the ball from the wing, and then they swing it to the opposite wing. He does a great job of just putting his hip on the guy and keeping him on the opposite hip.
Little miscommunication there with Betancourt, able to hang on to it. Not badness, obviously Bucknell in no hurry. Badness.
Cross doing a great job of just swarming everybody, keeping everybody inside in the paint, not allowing anything easy.
Out's knocked away from behind by Doherty.
And that's the Holy Cross that's got to those championship games. That's the Holy Cross right there, who has got to big-time games in the first round of the NCAA tournament and almost being 3 top teams in the past 3 years.
Hamilton inside Highland. minute to go as Holy Cross's struggles continue.
I remember before we were talking about yesterday, that's what Ralph Willow said they're missing the most. They had a great low post threat a couple years ago, and Pat Wardy, who finished for them every time down low. And now they don't have that guy who gives them 15, 20 points each time down low that's forcing other teams to double team him.
Shooting just 27% from the field, as opposed to nearly 55%, as you can see for the Bison. Badmus misses, with the rebound is tipped in by McNaughton.
And that's what happens is when you have shot blockers on the court. You see Lufkin and also the other guy came and tried to block the shot, but left open transition bucket from the score.
Heath Simmons, first team all-conference pick, now has 5. 51-35, Bucknell. Haven't been to the dance since 1989. Have never won the Patriot League. They were in the old East Coast Conference last time they went to the NCAA tourney. Just over 10 minutes away from getting back. Badmus. Taking a lot of time. Betancourt. Raised the rim. And it's going to be Holy Cross ball.
Great hustle on Keith Simmons' part, as well as Pat Durr to get down on the floor and chase those balls down. Those are the plays that win basketball games.
The lead is 16 right now for Bucknell, 51-35. We'll be back to Worcester. Before that, we'll update you on Conference USA. That's coming up next.
Brian Kenny here in the studio. Number 5, Louisville, the top seed in the Conference USA tourney here in the semis. UAB taking a 9-point lead. Paul Delaney there with 2. It's now a 2-point UAB lead.
It's 51-35. Bucknell on top of Holy Cross here, Brian. A 16-point lead as they play for the Patriot League trophy and, of course, a bid in the NCAA tournament. Just looking at bracketology on ESPN.com today, Joe Lenardi had Holy Cross, if they won, projected in as a 13 seed. Obviously, they need a huge comeback here to do that. Their RPI, the ESPN Insider RPI, projected at 46. Bucknell's is projected around 58. You're going to figure maybe you don't want to go too much hard and fast with the RPI because, again, it is a blunt instrument, as the committee so often reminds us. The lob inside now, and Hamilton gets 2 more.
But our lob was just created by Hurley setting a screen right on the elbow, which gave him enough room to get the lob pass off. Great head fake as well to get the opposing defender up in the air and then finish.
Doherty knocks it away. Just to finish off that thought, you don't want to go too much on RPI, but Bucknell does have a big win, a marquee win to hang its hat on. That win at Pittsburgh. They beat St. Joe's as well. That's something Holy Cross really doesn't have. Bucknell has some more losses.
Well, Ralph Willer protested how much that he can't schedule any big-time games that teams don't want to play against him because of that defense. But, I mean, obviously when you talk about Bucknell getting a big win versus Pittsburgh, Abe Badmus did an amazing job on Carl Krause that game. Locked Carl Krause up and was able to give him a win.
Now 51-37, a little ray of hope here for the Crusaders fans at the Hart Center who haven't had much to cheer about so far in this game. Hamilton got caught up in the air. It's a held ball. That will go to the Bison.
Smart block by Mastrocola to get his hand on the ball, then just to hold it. The jump ball call.
McNaughton leading the way for Bucknell. 15 points and 6 rebounds. Betancourt with the 3 assists.
Betancourt has 20 assists the way he's taken over this game, especially in the first half. Got him with the walk.
And Nice walked with the ball. Could be turnover number 14 on Bucknell. Interestingly, 14 on Bucknell, just 11 on Holy Cross. The difference is points off turnovers. It's 14-8 in favor of Bucknell.
Well, that's exactly what Ralph Willard wanted right there. You want to put the ball in the hands of Nice and McNaughton and let these guys make point guard decisions, bring the ball up the court.
Now Simmons. Thomas. Hurley working on the blocks, and Hurley hits off glass.
Well, great use of the swing hook with the right hand. That was a great use of the swing hook. Haven't seen that done in a while. And the defensive intensity's picking up.
And Hurley calls a timeout as Holy Cross, the closest it's been since it was 8:10 to go in the first half, It's a 12-point game.
Well, you can feel this place coming alive. It kind of went through a dip period where everybody's quiet. They're starting to wake up a little bit right now. Just his energy makes me want to get on the court.
51-39 Bucknell, but Holy Cross with the ball, and Holy Cross with some momentum.
Well, it's all because of John Hurley. I mean, you talk about him right here. They're scoring a bucket, and then just not running all the way down the court, having the awareness to come back to get the steal. And look, he's pumped up. He's getting everybody pumped up. And that's the first time the Holy Cross has come up the bench to beat their team tonight.
A 7-0 run for the Crusaders. The lead is 12. The ball is Holy Cross's. Feet now here at the Hart Center, about 3,500 on hand, an overflow crowd. Great atmosphere.
We talk about they can score right here. They can get it. They can get the lead only 10, or maybe even single digits.
Now Torrey Thomas.
I would go down low right now. I would go to Hurley down low.
Instead, they try the three. Over the air in the Patriot League. Gets the three. 14 now for Kevin Hamilton.
Well, Bucknell doesn't know what to do. They're in this press, and they're really forcing Bucknell to make some difficult passes, and they've really been able to convert.
Foul went on Hamilton, his third.
Well, he came off the baseline for that wide open three. Way to drill a little rain dance for you, baby. Raindrops. And this place is jumping up right now. This place is going bananas in here. Holy Cross getting a chance to come back and win this game.
And Bucknell needs to call a timeout. This is the closest Holy Cross has been now since there were 15 minutes to go in the first half. I mean, this game has been all Bucknell from the word go, Jason.
Well, that's how sometimes games are. I mean, teams go through spans. Every team makes a run. Bucknell really came out and made a huge run for the first half and then the first 10 minutes of the second half. But now, Holy Cross starting to come into a little rhythm, starting to get a little continuity.
And this reminder, Championship Week presented by 7-Up continues tonight on ESPN. Both semifinals from the Big East Championship presented by Aeropostale. First at 7 p.m. Eastern, West Virginia against number 21 Villanova. West Virginia coming off the great win against Boston College. Then at 9 Eastern, it is the Orange and the Huskies, Syracuse and UConn. Big East Championship also available in high definition on ESPN HD. Call your local cable operator, DirecTV, or the Dish Network today.
Well, Dave, the game of basketball is showing you anything. It's showing you that it's a game of runs. Each team loves to make a run, and you see that in the NBA. A team will be up 20 points, going to the fourth quarter to come back losing the game by 10. That's how basketball is.
I think you see it more in the NBA than anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true.
Everyone's got a run in them in the NBA, right?
It's possible in college, I mean.
Now Lee, wide open. Big three right there for Charles Lee.
Big shot just stops the bleeding and stops Holy Cross in that huge run they were on.
The lead back up to a dozen. They've actually got Lee at 10 points now.
I'll give it to him.
Hurley, no good. Crowd wanted the foul, they don't get it.
A good block by Neese to get the ball down low and have the awareness to block that shot. Hurley was open for about 2 seconds. They hit him a little too late. Betancourt
back out to Lee. Shot clock winds towards 15. Obviously, that's the Bison's ally at this point.
I think right now they're going to either ISO Lee or Betancourt in the wing.
Torrey Thomas reaching in.
Well, that's something Batman has been doing all day long. Talking about with Pat Doherty guarding as well as Torrey Thomas. They've been reaching, and it's allowed Batman to get into the X and cracks and create opportunities for his team to score.
Be the first foul on Torrey Thomas. We've got a timeout on the floor with Bucknell. Less than 8 minutes away from a trip to the dance.
Up. If you want 100% natural lemon and lime flavors, the only way to go is up. And in part by Kia Motors and the all-new Sportage, the SUV with everything.
Here in Worcester for the local fans of the second half as Holy Cross has narrowed the gap to 54-42, and a big part of the reason why the player of the year in this league, Kevin Hamilton, is starting to play like a player of the year.
Well, he's finally being able to start finding his flow and getting his shots off. I mean, you see right here with the great finish, the head fake he used to get over the player. Then they're finally starting to find him on the perimeter. He's knocking down his jump shot. If he gets stuff going, he has a chance to lead this team to a victory tonight.
14 points, 9 in the second half. Holy Cross 8 of 15 from the field in this half. Bucknell 5 out of 12. Bucknell shot nearly 61% in the first half compared to 21% for Holy Cross. Abe Badness to the line for the Bison. He misses the free throw, and Hamilton, the guy we were just talking about, clears the board, and here comes Torrey Thomas.
I'm sure Ralph Willard designed something to go to Hamilton, or either go to Hamilton or go down low.
And had a ton of success down low, although Curley has made an impact in the second half. Hamilton knocked away, and McNaughton reaching in. They're going to get Mastropolo instead for the foul. Both of them were in the neighborhood.
Well, Hamilton's doing something where he's trying to split the trap, and by splitting the trap, you have to get low with the ball and keep the ball low. He's throwing the ball out there, hoping to try to run to it before other opponents can get to it, and that's why he's had a couple of turnovers tonight.
Beg your pardon, Betancourt on the foul, so that is his second. Now Simmons, he's been reasonably quiet, and he just walked with it.
Well, he took a huge bunny hop, and that bunny hop called the walk. They called by the refs.
5 points for Simmons, first team all-conference coming off the bench for Ralph Willard's team.
Ralph Willard and his assistants yelling at the players to get up and try to press, create some turnovers.
Ralph Willard, a Rick Pitino disciple, was an assistant for him at Kentucky. Went to Western Kentucky, running his own program, and very well there. Went to the Sweet 16, then to Pittsburgh, and then to his alma mater here at Holy Cross.
And this is where Badness has been able to take advantage of Torrey Thomas. Torrey Thomas has always reached for balls. He's been able to drive by him.
Anise, shot clock down to 4. Great ball movement, and McNaughton on the receiving end.
The ball movement on that play was unbelievable. Everybody touched the ball. It was a great decision by Charles Lee not to take the three, but to penetrate and just make one extra pass, and that made the difference.
Lead back up to 14. Clock under 6.5. Simmons, that's a 3. Left it well short. McNaughton the rebound for Bucknell. And here come the Bison, Abe Badness.
But he got a wide open jump shot. He faked his man out on the baseline and ran off the top screen. Wide open, you gotta knock that down.
Now Hamilton comes up with a steal.
Take advantage of it.
Simmons.
There, that would have been a Sports Center highlight right there, Dave. Just talking about Bucknell, they have the ability to move the ball, and everybody's unselfish. You see that pass right here, and this is the extra pass that I was talking about. His driving ability right there, and that made the pass from McNaughton. That was the difference. The ball movement was unbelievable.
Foul goes against Badness. That's number 4 on him. You see the numbers for Simmons. Misses the free throws. Really struggled today. Sakidu has a great work ethic. Ralph Willard, very complimentary of him. Stayed in Worcester over the summer. Put on 24 pounds of muscle. Just 5 points, though, in this game for the first team all-conference pick.
Well, he's struggling today, but overall, you know, talking to a couple like Mark Juris, such as assistant coach for Holy Cross, says he has the ability to be one of the best players ever to play at Holy Cross.
Just a sophomore out of Kingston, New York. It's 1 of 2. The lead is 13. Again, good ball movement. And again, it ends up as a hoop, this time for Mastropolo, his first 2.
Well, they took advantage of the fact that Holy Cross is pressing and made him pay for it. But it was an iffy move, gutsy move on Patriot's part to let them try to score that. I would have personally held the ball out and waited for the shot clock to go down and use some time off the clock.
Now Thomas going to try a 3, and Torrey Thomas now has 5.
Well, another gutsy player, a gutsy move by a gutsy player. He had the lane to drive, decided to take a step back 3.
Again, the lead down to 12. Bucknell, just about 5 making history. It would be their first ever Patriot League title. Their first trip to the dance in 16 years.
So Holy Cross can stay stable right now.
Shot clock at 8. Nice, who's been hot, misses Mastropolo the rebound. And it's going to go against Holy Cross.
Wow, that looked like a pushing foul on Mastropolo to me.
Keith Simmons is the guy who gets called for the foul.
It shows you once again just the ball movement. They always seem to make the extra pass to find an easier shot. And you find that with great teams. Make the extra pass to find an easier shot.
So Mastropolo, the freshman, going to go to the free throw line. Gatorade State Player of the Year in Maine last year. 6'8". He was a 4-year letterman in tennis as well. Imagine seeing the leverage on that
tennis player. I don't know how I'd be able to handle his serves, I'm telling you.
6'8", 230, playing high school tennis against him. This is the free throw. Simmons the rebound.
Need to get something easy right now. Need to get something easy. Don't need to force any shots. Just get something very easy. A little dribble penetration to the bucket. Try to get a foul.
Not say enough about how good this Bucknell defense has been. Thomas for 3. Not there. Hamilton has the board. He's going to try a 3, and Hamilton got it.
I tell you, never say never, Dave. Never say never. People say never when we played against Maryland. Not Maryland. We came back and won that game. You never know.
A dozen in the second half for Hamilton. Badness. Mastropolo going back to the free throw line. This time the foul's on Kevin Highland.
Mastropolo did a great job of creating the contact right there. Surprised that the ref called that, but you see Kevin Hamilton just off the miss off Torrey Thomas, and he's feeling it right now. He's feeling good right now. They got to find a way to get him the ball more often.
Bucknell, as we told you, just 2 trips to the NCAA tournament. This is a program that's been at it for a while. One of the 3 oldest Division I college basketball programs, along with Yale and Minnesota. They began playing in 1896. They have never produced an NBA player. Hall of Fame pitcher Christy Mathewson, probably their most famous athletic alum, buried near the school's baseball diamond. This, it is safe to say, would be one of the biggest moments in Bucknell basketball history.
Well, let's see if their defense, they pride themselves so much in their defense, ranked 11th nationally in scoring defense, allowing 58.5 points. Let's see if they can hold this team from doing it tonight.
Now Torrey Thomas, the lead is 10.
They need to get Kevin Hamilton the ball. They need to get the ball in the hands of Kevin Hamilton.
He's had a great second half. Simmons going to try the 3. He has not. He has really struggled in this game. And what's the call? They're going to call a travel. Bucknell. As Brown came down, he was surrounded, and the Bison bench is aghast. Pat Flannery right now saying there has to be a foul there. He is stunned, but the bottom line is his team just 3:46 away from making it to the dance. I keep on rising. I'm gonna keep on rising. I keep on rising.
In the studio, let's get back to the Conference USA semifinals. #1 Louisville in a test. Inside, Cardell Sequia Johnson for UAB. It's a 2-point game. Louisville up on top, taking on the winner of South Florida and Memphis tonight. Let's go back to Dave Revson and Jason Williams, guys.
Thanks, BK. Championship week presented by 7-Up. Bucknell, they may have the life jackets on, but it's Holy Cross on life support. A 10-point lead right here for the Bison.
Well, the last play was a very controversial play. It looked like Kevin Hamilton pushed Ronald Brown in the back, which the refs called a travel. Let's see if they can convert an opportunity.
This is the player of the year, Hamilton. Now Simmons, who has struggled in this game, but a first-team all-conference pick. Badness kicked it, so fresh 35 for the Crusaders.
Well, here you see this last play right here. He shoots the 3. Ronald Brown comes down with the rebound right here, but then Kevin Hamilton pushes him, and the refs call a walk. That was definitely a foul. Flannery doesn't like it. You got to talk about that play for the fact that could be a determining play in the game. You talk about, instead of them coming down and making this a 12-point lead, Holy Cross has a chance to cut it to 8 or 7.
I think that one was pretty clear cut. I've got to agree with that.
It had to be a foul.
Absolutely think it was a foul. foul. But as it is, a 10-point lead. I think Pat Flannery more than happy to be in the position he's in right now. His team up by 10. They've shot the ball extremely well. Holy Cross has shot well in the first half, in the second half, but they just did themselves in the first half, Jason. Yeah, well, they dug themselves down in a deep hole, and they're trying to fight out it right now, and it's all due to this guy right here, number 14, Kevin Hamilton. He's been knocking down jump shot after jump shot. They need to find some way to get this young man the ball. Just gotta put your hands up, Dave. When you're hot, you're hot. I think there's blood on the back of Hurley's jersey. Maybe not. Well, tonight, Championship Week presented by 7-Up on ESPN2, offering up 2 great quarterfinal matchups from the ACC. First, it's NC State and Wake, and then Virginia taking on Duke. It is all tonight. Nice dish to Hurley from Thomas, and Hurley gets 2 more. John Hurley in double figures with 11. And Bucknell just seems flabbergasted. They have no idea what to do when Holy Cross puts the full court press on it. And the Bison calling a timeout. 8-point lead. The last play was all created by the penetration of Torrey Thomas. Talking about to get in the crack of the zone and just get some people off the feet, and a great dish to John Hurley. And now you're talking about it's an 8-point game, Dave, where it could have been 12 points if Bucknell came down and scored. We've got ourselves a ball game. It does seem like Holy Cross has got more in the flow here in the second half. What, have you seen anything different from how they've attacked Bucknell? Well, I think it's just for the fact that their shot selection is a lot better in the second half. They've been finding ways to get open shots, whereas the first half they were having every shot was contested. Certainly reflected in the field goal shooting. I mean, Dave, there's only some players out there who shoot better with contested hands in their face. Holy Cross shot 21% in the first half. They're now up to 35% for the game. Again, Championship Week presented by 7-Up. The Patriot League Championship, Bucknell and Holy Cross, tourney bid on the line. Dave Refson, Jason Williams with you. The Bison in the orange. The Crusaders in the white. They do break the press this time. And now they slow things up. Bucknell making a couple of dangerous passes. A little lob passes that were dangerous. They're trying to work a trap in the corner. Lee gets rid of it to Brown. Now out top to Badmus. Lucky there. When you're playing against a team that traps, you never want to bring the ball to the corners of the court. Badmus being hounded by Torrey Thomas. And a steal by Hamilton. Here comes the Patriot Player of the Year, Hamilton. Trying to throw it up over his shoulder after getting fouled there by Donald Brown. A smart play on Hamilton's behalf to go right at Brown. Really force him to choose what he wants to do if he's going to try to block the shot. Just a bad pass right there by Madness, and then Hamilton right here just to go right at him to create the contact. Kevin Hamilton, Patriot League Player of the Year, leads this league in scoring, steals, 3-pointers made. Second half has been all Holy Cross after the Bison led it by 18 at the half. Hamilton on 17 points for the game, make it 18 now for the junior from New York. And Dave, he was a factor why they won their last game. I mean, you talk about the overtime the game they had against America. He came back and scored 8 free throws in the overtime to win that game. Hamilton with 1 more and he hits it. 6-point game. We'll see if Holy Cross can get a stop. The Crusaders have chiseled away. They were down 18 at the break. They trap in the corner. Got about 5 seconds to get it across. It has to be close to a 10-second call. It just got it over. Badness with about a second to spare. Now it's knocked away by Hamilton. Here comes Hamilton. Plays it in. And this atmosphere in here is wild. The lead is down to 4. Hamilton's got 21. Right now from Bucknell. Another turnover. To make a pass. Slow it down, slow it down. Offensive foul on Hamilton. Just as you said it, Jason, slow it down. Well, he had no numbers. It was 1-on-4. She just pulled the ball out and got a team in a set. It's been the Holy Cross defense that's been doing it for the entire night. Getting hands on loose balls and then being able to finish in transition. It's been a difference maker this entire second half. Two different Holy Cross teams tailor-tailor pass. A dozen steals now from the Crusaders. They're 6th in the nation in that category, 10.3 per game. This the smallest margin since this game was at 6-2.
I'm pumped up there. I'm tired. I don't even know why I'm tired. I'm just tired watching these guys run back and forth. It's going to be the team that's going to execute down the end that's really going to win this game. You talk about the reason why they just made that turnover right there was for the fact that Charles Lee left his feet to make a pass. You got to execute and be proficient with the ball.
Coming up next, ESPN2's College Game Night. Scott Reese, Jay Billis going to be along. They'll get you caught up on all the latest college basketball stories, all the highlights from the conference tournament action today. Action from the Conference USA tourney, also from the Big Ten. Plus, we'll give you a preview of tonight's ACC quarterfinal matchup, NC State and Jason's alma mater Duke, all coming your way next on ESPN2. A 12-1 run here for Holy Cross, the top seed in this tournament. 59-55. Both teams will be shooting 2 from here on in. Bucknell has not been to the dance since '89. Holy Cross 3 times in the last 4 years. And they've given Marquette, Kansas, and Kentucky all they can handle. This is a team you don't want to see in the first round. Bucknell won at Pittsburgh this year. This league's never won a first-round game. A lot of people feel this might be the year.
They need to take their time right here on this possession and get a good shot. Use as much of the shot clock as you can.
The key here, obviously, is getting out of Worcester with a W. Down to a 4-point game.
I think they might do a hot ball screen with Madness and McNaughton up top. They've been able to work that the entire game.
Now it's down to 4 on the shot clock. They've got to do something. Betancourt just does get it off, and he misses it. And it's Holy Cross's ball off the air ball from Betancourt.
Well, Holy Cross did a great job of hedging on that ball screen, forcing Madness to dribble the ball out towards half court.
Kevin Highland, 41, back in the game for the Crusaders. You see the emotion on John Griffin's face.
And David, wouldn't it surprise me if Holy Cross went to Kevin Hamilton right now?
Really?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Man, you go out on a limb sometimes. Instead, it's Hurley. Nowhere to go with it. Alertly brings it back out. Thomas.
Still got a lot of time in the shot clock. Don't need to force anything.
Now this is Hamilton. Hamilton tries to force it up. It's tipped by Hurley. And the rebound for Highland.
And it was a second effort, and it was all caused by Hurley to get the first rebound in the first place.
Now Betancourt will slow it up.
They have a lot of time. They do not need to get themselves in a position to turn the ball over.
They do, however, need to shoot it. About 23-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
Ralph Willard is yelling out, do not foul, do not foul. There's no need to foul right now. Play straight up hardcore defense.
And Pat Flannery calls a timeout. Kevin Hamilton, the story here in the second half, just 5 points for the Conference Player of the Year in the first half, 16 in the second, Jason.
Well, he just found a way to do it the entire second half, working off ball screens, hitting down, knocking down open jump shots. I mean, he's been absolutely in fuego from outside in the range. His range is irreplaceable. And then you talk about him finding steals now and doing things in transition as well. Shows you the kind of player he is. The will to win, the desire to win.
Hamilton has been outstanding here, particularly in the second half. You see the 16 points for him. On the other side, what an emotional moment for Pat Flannery and Bucknell. Pat Flannery had to take a leave of absence this year, a 3-game leave after he just kind of hit a wall. This team beat Pittsburgh. They were getting all kinds of national publicity, more so than he had ever experienced at Bucknell. He said, I just couldn't say no to anybody. Was completely exhausted, burned himself out. Missed 3 games, they lost 2 of them. He's come back with a vengeance, and so is his team. They led it by 18 at the half, but now Ralph Willard has it within 2 at 59-57, and Bucknell out of timeouts.
Like I said before, Dave, basketball is a game of runs, and we've seen in the first half, Bucknell came out, executed, plays perfectly, had a huge lead, but right now, I think Bucknell got a little content, and they're finding themselves in a dangerous position right now where Holy Cross has a chance to take over the lead.
59-57. Bucknell, again, they have to shoot it. 15 seconds on the shot clock. McNaughton such a factor in the first half, just 2 shots in this half. He has 17. Is that who you're trying to go to?
I don't know who to go to for Bucknell. Nobody's really taking on the offensive production, the responsibility to score.
It is McNaughton inside, baby hook, left it short, it's tipped up, and here come the Crusaders.
If I were Holy Cross right now, I'd get something to go into the basket, be a smart player, go to the basket, don't try to shoot a 3, try to tie the game.
No timeout for Holy Cross. Simmons has struggled in this game. Thomas. Now Hamilton. Left open, not there. Rebound, Betancourt is fouled by Simmons.
Well, it's not necessarily the shot you like to see Kevin Hamilton take right there. A fadeaway jump shot is not the shot that you want. You want to get something going towards the basket, try to create some contact, get a foul, go to the free throw line, and have a chance to score easy too.
They had the guy they wanted there in Hamilton. Now Bucknell sends Betancourt to the free throw line. Nearly a 90% foul shooter. 5 of 5 from the line tonight. His brother played hoops for Holy Cross. His sister ran track for Holy Cross. And now he can essentially end Holy Cross's NCAA tourney dreams and put Bucknell into the dance.
His eyes cold up there. Doesn't look to be fazed by the pressure of the game.
Hits them both as cool and calm as could be. 8 seconds, a 2-possession game. And Hamilton calls timeout.
Well, I think Ralph Willard is yelling at he wanted a foul down low. I think he wanted over the back call. He's definitely eyeing the ref down right now.
61-57, Bucknell on top of Holy Cross. Don't forget College Game Night up next. Scores and highlights. They'll preview that NC State Wake Forest game as well, but we still have 7 seconds to go here. If you're Holy Cross, do you go for 3 or you go for 2?
I think you go for whatever's possible right now. I don't think it's either one. You talk about you got 7 seconds left. It reminds me very much of the game when we played Indiana. We were down by 4. I came down, you just do a nice little head fake, try to lean in, and give yourself a chance to knock down a 3 and get fouled.
Bucknell been fantastic defensively this year, particularly in the first half in this game. Holy Cross has caught fire a bit in the second half. It was an 18-point game at the half. Ralph Willard's team got it as close as 2. Have not been able to get over the hump, though. We'll see what Holy Cross decides to do. Again, they're going to have to get the ball twice to win this game.
So, Dave, I'm going to put you on and see if you go out on a limb here. Who would you go to?
Well, I'm going to pull a Jason Williams and say I'm going to go with Hamilton. I mean, who am I questioning you?
Well, they need to go to somebody really quick.
Torrey Thomas is going to be the guy.
It's taking too long.
It is taking too long. Simmons, no good. And that is it. Bucknell has done it. The Bison win the Patriot League.
And Clap Flannery is absolutely ecstatic right now. He does not know who to run and hug. Who to run and hug.
Bucknell wins the Patriot League for the first time ever. They're going to the tourney for the first time since 1989.
And this is what college basketball is all about right here. He talked about not everybody gets a chance to make it to the tournament, but the few who do, it's a very special thing.
The Bucknell Bison going to the dance for just the 3rd time in school history. First time as a member of the Patriot League. You see the emotion. They come into Holy Cross and they end the 3rd longest winning streak in the nation. The 16-game run by Holy Cross is over. Our final score is Bucknell winning this one 61-57. Bucknell is the Patriot League champ. For Jason Williams and our entire crew, I'm Dave Refson. Right now, let's go to Scott Reese and Jay Billis with College Game Night.
Forever, 3rd time in school history, Bucknell is is in. What about NC State? The Wolfpack trying to make a run and get in at least as an at-large, and who knows what from there, taking on Wake Forest at the top of the hour. Hi, everyone. Scott Reese back in our studios. Welcome to College Game Night. A busy night as championship week continues. We are counting down to that NC State-Wake Forest game at the top of the hour on ESPN2, and one of the men who will be calling that game for us is our own Jay Billis, who joins us now. And Jay, good stuff so far. You must be having a good time down in D.C., huh?
It is great, Scott. I think the ACC tournament is one of the best tournaments